So we got some news this morning. Not, I guess pretty big news, but every little drop of news that we get from this is going to
Yeah.
be a story. But they announced the actors who are going to be playing Zelda and Link in the new live action Legend of Zelda movie that's coming out. It's going to be Bo Bragison as Zelda and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth as Link. They're pretty much unknowns. They've been in a few things. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that they've been in. But I personally am pretty happy that they're casting unknowns in this role. I
Yeah.
think it would be kind of jarring. I mean, in the same way that it was jarring when they announced like the Mario movie cast and like Chris Pratt's face came on screen and everyone was like, like it's. I think it's great that they're casting like because it means you can watch the movie and like if they do a good job you can be like, okay, well that's Link and that's Zelda. It's not like
Yeah.
that's like Hunter Schafer and that's Tom Holland. Like no, like you don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
So
And I love
um
that. I love when this happens. Like I
yeah,
love
it's the
when we get
best.
like new, like fresh people. Because his, I understand. I remember when I was younger, like when I was in high school, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna make movies, and I'm gonna cast unknowns every time, and I was like, that's where I was at, but I now like older, I understand the value and also a lot of the good side of casting stars and like actors and like professional, like famous actors, whatever. Like there's a lot of value in things, and it's not as bad as I once thought it was. But at the same time, it's cool to see when a big movie and a big franchise comes out with fresh faces, because
Yeah.
now it's like you really can just like immerse yourself in what they're trying to do with this
Mm-hmm.
new thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna be. I'm really excited about this, man. I think Link looks. He has the right balance of protagonist leading man look, and he looks derpy as well. He's a derpy kid, derpy 16-year-old
Turfy,
kid.
okay.
He has like a little bit of derp in his
Damn.
face. You know what I mean? It's I think it's a perfect balance of
We haven't even
derpy.
gotten a trailer and he's already getting roasted.
I mean, it's perfect. You know what I mean? I think well, perfect is a strong word, but I mean, shit. I mean, bro, look
He
at him.
looks like he looks like very boyish, you know. And I mean, he's like, isn't he like 16 years old? So he's like pretty young. But he looks like he'll fit the part just fine. I'm curious to see. I mean, like even from the announcement that it was going to be live action, like everyone, myself included, is pretty
Hmm.
doubtful about that. I'm curious to see how they approach it, whether it's going to be like fantasy, like Game of Thrones fantasy, like the way that feels, you know, if it's going to be
Hmm.
like more grounded feeling, or if they're going to go more like high fantasy Lord of the Rings, you know. I'm
Hey,
curious to see what
man.
approach they take for this, because they could be very vastly different movies
I get
depending
so,
on
bro, I'm
where they
so hyped.
go.
I'm sorry. I couldn't contain myself just then. I'm so hyped because
Which
I
one
was,
were you excited about?
bro, because what you were saying, I think, like, because I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm thinking about the director, and I was recently sold on him because I didn't watch the Maze Runner stuff or whatever he did before, but I did
Apparently, he's
see.
he's done some pretty shitty stuff, but go on. That's
I
what I've heard.
see seen that new Planet of the Apes, and I'm just like
Was that
that
him?
movie. Yeah, he did the Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, the
Avi
newest one.
Avi Arad, or is that the producer?
No, Avi Arad. Oh yeah, Avi Arad's done terrible stuff, but he's also he people. Okay. Let me calm down. Avi's not the director. The director is Wes Ball. Wes Ball did Maze Runner
Okay, okay.
and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, bro, the way that movie blended live action with the like CGI stuff, dude, like you can go like watch the movie, watch behind the scenes stuff. He knows what he's doing in that field. That's why they chose him. I know for
Mhm.
a fact after seeing that movie and seeing the behind the scenes, I know I know in my heart, I know in my that's why he was chosen. And that's like I think he's going to knock it out of the park on that side of things, bro. Like I have so much confidence. And then also hearing he did this like a really long interview with like a Planet of the Apes super fan like podcast thing on YouTube. And like the guy is like it's a super small channel, but he like he sat and talked to him for like a long time before the movie came out, and
Mhm.
just hearing his thought process on things and just Bro, I have so much faith. I don't know. I'm feeling it, bro. I got so much faith in him right now. I mean, Avi, Avi has been attached to a lot of really bad Sony projects because Sony's making this movie. But he's also technically been a part of a lot of really good stuff too, and people don't really give him the credit for that. Who knows how much say he has in either one, but Avi, I feel like Avi has been a part of so many bad things and so many really good things that it's almost like he should just kind of just be ignored, because who knows whether or not his addition to this is gonna really be good or
Should
not.
be ignored. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I just know that people I wasn't like, I know a lot of people have pointed out the whole Avi Arad thing when it comes to this movie, because it's like,
Yeah.
dude, this is like,
I
he's had a
think
lot of really bad projects.
ultimately, like, I don't, because Miyamoto, like, obviously has such a large part in the making of these movies between the Mario movie and this one. I don't think he would allow anything like egregious to
Yeah.
like pass through, like, because he's very conscious of the image of these characters and how they're portrayed, it seems like. So I don't think it's like, if I think the worst thing that could happen is they play it like super safe and the movie is just like really boring and uninteresting. I don't think we're gonna get like an 80s Mario movie situation, I don't think it's ever gonna be that bad because the creator has such a large part in the making of it. But
Yeah.
even if it, like, I'm gonna be disappointed even if it is just like a boring movie, right? It's gonna be cool to see it on screen. I just don't know, like Zelda, I think the lore of Zelda tends to be more exciting than any actual story that series has
Yeah,
told.
they're gonna have to make a story. Do we know who's writing it?
I have no idea. No, you're fine. I'm not sure. But like, I just know that like Zelda as a whole, like looking at it as a complete like series is more exciting than any one story that they've told. And so having a movie where the story is like front and center and that's like what it is, and I'm curious to see how they adapt it. So it's gonna be, is Link gonna talk? We talked about this earlier.
Yeah, that's something that Ari brought up earlier. Like, and I didn't even think about that. I'm super.
I'm sure
I'm excited to find out.
I'm sure he will. It would be.
How
silly
confident
if he
are you
doesn't.
in that?
Well, I mean,
I'm
so
just
like,
curious.
there's no lore reason in the Zelda series that Link doesn't talk, other than like, I don't know, he's the stalwart protagonist, and it's not like there's any canon justification for it. It's just a thing that they've carried through every game. So there's no, like, if they were to have him talk, no one could be like, oh, that's like against the canon, because like there's nothing saying that he's not allowed to talk. It's just something that he's never done. So it would still be jarring for it to happen. But how are you gonna make a movie about a kid that doesn't say anything, right? Like it's gonna be more awkward if he doesn't speak than if he does.
You know what I think? I'm gonna call it right now. I think he's gonna barely speak.
He's gonna be just really quiet
throughout the majority of the movie. He's not gonna talk. He's gonna be very silent. He's gonna talk. Like, he's gonna talk to, like, there's gonna be a line he says to Zelda or some shit like that. He's gonna say things every now and like there's gonna be maybe like he'll get like 2 lines per act of the movie.
He's gonna be like Ferb. Phineas and Ferb is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's gonna be
like
that.
A line here and there.
He's gonna be, for the most part, like, because I think they're gonna take one of those approaches where it's like, just from a filmmaker's approach, where it's like, that's gonna be what's kind of special about him, is he doesn't talk much. They might joke about it in the movie at some point, like the fact that he doesn't talk much, but he will talk though. But it's gonna be very impactful when he actually does open his mouth. That's my guess right now. I'm standing 10 toes on that. I think that's what's gonna happen. And
you see, like the thing about him not talking though is like I could see that more. Like if he were older, it would be like, okay, he's a stoic guy.
Yeah.
But since it's like a 16-year-old kid, he would have to be like shy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's gonna be shy. I think he's gonna just be a weird kid. I think that's the angle they're gonna go for. Is that he doesn't talk because he's just kind of weird. Like this strange boy doesn't speak. Like, I think that's what it's gonna be. Like, he's gonna show up to like whatever castle that Zelda's at, and they're gonna be like, why isn't he talking or some shit like that? So whatever. Like, I think,
but that would be such a distraction from like if they're just trying to tell a story.
Well,
like,
that's the thing. It's really part of his character.
Having him not speaking would be like having that be a plot point would be more weird than him just like talking and and introducing like whatever story they're going to tell in that way, but having him be silent as like a plot point that people need to like address is weird.
And I do want to say, just a part of my prediction, I don't think it's going to be a heavy aspect of the overall story. I think it's going to be just one of those kind of like things that, like, you remember like Baby Driver,
Yeah.
where he's like, nah, that one's kind of, this is heavier. But what came to my mind is how he's always listening to music. That one's heavier though. That kind of played a larger part in the story actually. I'd have to think of a better example, but I think it's just gonna be a character quirk. I think that's just what, like, that's my guess, is that it'll be just be a part of his kind of like, characters, that he's pretty quiet. Like when they have him popping up at those Disney theme parks, he's not gonna talk that much. Not Disney, I mean the Nintendo parks at Universal, wherever they have them.
Okay, I was wondering. Like,
my fault. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, I mean, right now my view of this movie is like everything that comes out, I'm approaching with more curiosity than excitement at
Which
this
is cool.
point. Yeah, I mean that's fine. If I'm being honest, I don't really have hope that it's going to be anything good. They're making this movie because Zelda is a popular franchise and they know people are going to see it, right? And obviously it's cool to see a big franchise like this come to like a movie theater and in a screen. But like as far as like the richness of like a story that can be told in this world, like I think it just works so much better as a game where you're playing through the story as an active participant rather than like experiencing, like characters go through it. Like you have to play a Zelda story. You can't just watch it, in my opinion. And they could blow me out of the water with whatever they do. I don't think they're going to, but I don't think this is a series that's going to translate super well to the screen.
I'm gonna add to my prediction along with him not talking, and I'm not trying to start a beef. I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but it's just the fact that like you're making me think about it, and I want to say,
fuck me.
My prediction.
Sorry.
No. The prediction that I have, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be surprisingly good. I think like it's because I'm just thinking about the director, and something that I like that kind of adds to this just thought I have about how he's gonna handle things is the latest Planet of the Apes movie takes place very far in the future from the ones that came out before it. And it's a different world. Like I don't know, like if anyone's seen the last trilogy,
world?
It feels like a different world. Like it feels like the last movie is like, this is Planet of the Apes. Like the other movies are kind of like like
the apes,
prequels
like, taking
to
over, right?
like in those movies, like apes can they can barely talk. In this movie, apes are having full conversations and shit. Like they're like, they can talk. Like they like it's and also like the world is kind of, it's been so long, so a lot of the world has kind of just been like just reformed around old stuff. So like it has this kind of like, bro, I'm telling you, like when you watch it, it has a fantasy vibe to it. It really does. And I think that I think just the way that he handled the world building and then also just the spaces, like I got a lot of faith in this director. And also the other thing I wanted to say was, when it comes to like, this being a money-making opportunity, I do think they're trying to snowball from the Mario movie. I don't think you're wrong in that. But I also think it's worth pointing out that like Nintendo has had a very long, opportunity since that terrible period of garbage that they're putting out in the 90s or whatever, or 80s or whatever. Whereas like they could have made a movie throughout the 2000s or the 20s, and they didn't. And I do think that they're kind of like, I think they were kind of in the standpoint of, we know it'll make a lot of movie, but we don't want to damage our characters. And I think now they're kind of like, we're going to make these movies and make sure for a fact that our characters are not like that they add some type of value to what we have going on. And I think that's just, I'm willing to bet this movie will actually be really good. And I'm saying really good. I'm not saying like, okay. Like I'm saying like, I think it's going to be like shit good. Like I think it's going to be good.
I mean, I'll say like the one thing, not the one thing, but like the aspect of the Mario movie that was disappointing to me is like with these, and I'm assuming they're going to approach this the same way with like a family oriented approach, right? Like they're going to want kids and their parents to see it. Like they felt the need to, and you could argue that they just did this as a plot point, but the fact that Mario wasn't originally from the Mushroom Kingdom, that he had to be
Yeah.
like a guy from Brooklyn that was like thrust into this weird world that he's now a part of, to me that shows like a lack of confidence in like the power of like that world that people have like
Hmm.
come to enjoy. Like the fact that they have to present it as this weird alternate reality rather than it just being like, this is where this movie takes place and it's just like this like weird fantasy mushroom world. Like no, it
Yeah.
has to be this strange place that they're transported to. And I'm
Yeah.
going to be really disappointed if they do the same thing with the Zelda movie where Link is like this regular kid in like Chicago
Oh
and
man.
he finds like a portal and he's like, kid, you're the hero that was prophesized. We got this green tunic for you and there's this princess named like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a danger of them doing the same thing. Like maybe not like the exact same thing as the Mario movie did. But if it's like the world of Zelda is this magical place that you can get transported to, like that's just much less interesting than like having that as the established setting and the characters that live in that world and just like actively participate in the day-to-day life. But I feel like they make that decision to make it more palatable for like a wider audience, and it detracts from like the quality of the story that they're telling, and it also just shows a lack of confidence in that world. So I hope they don't do that again, because that was kind of like, it's just, I don't think it was necessary. I think it was like something that they did just
Be safe.
to get people like on board with it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think they are going to do what you're talking about, but to a lesser extent, like of the Mario movie. Like I think like I don't think they're gonna pull some shit like he's
He finds a portal
yeah, like
to
he's
like to
frayed from
Hyrule.
Forspoken or some shit. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna
Yeah.
do that. I think there's not gonna be like I think it's gonna be the world of Hyrule whatever. Like I don't think they're gonna do that, but I do think they're going to change things. Like I think they're going to like change things that like Zelda fans might feel like are core aspects. But I feel like I say they feel like that are core aspects of the Legend of Zelda as it is right now.
Mm.
Because I think what they're gonna do in a not fully, of course, they're gonna keep their hands on it a lot, but I do think they're gonna hand it over to to the creatives of the movie to say, hey, like if you want to make this change here and there for the story you're trying to tell,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
And I think they will give them those freedoms, and I think those like I'm just assuming that like because I looked up who's writing the movie, and the two writers, one did that last Jurassic Park trilogy, and
No. Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah, I wasn't too happy about that one when I seen it. But
Oh
then
god.
the other guy is like Wes Ball's guy. Like they did the Maze Runner stuff together. I'm more confident in that because I'm confident in Wes, and I'm hoping that just kind of extends. But yeah, I think they're gonna change things.
Hmm.
I think they're gonna change things, but
I I
I'm
think they will.
hoping this changes for the better because like like you were saying, like the story of like okay, maybe I don't want to say that you said this 'cause I don't know if you said this, but I'll just jump to what it is. I don't think we have a core Legend of Zelda story.
I mean, like Ocarina of Time, a game that I haven't played.
Uh-huh.
Ocarina of Time is supposed to be like the most iconic story
Mm-hmm.
from what I've heard. People are saying like they could just adapt that and that would be great. So like, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
Do you
I
know
think
what that story is? Like, do you know any elements about that story?
it's like a, oh, I'm gonna really piss some people off here, but I think it's, you're like going back and forth from like a young kid to an adult, and like the world changes based on like what time period you're in, and you're kind of influencing things. That's like the extent of what I know about the story.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know enough about that. I don't know enough about the game that people say is the best game of all time. A game that I could very easily play because I have a 3DS, so that's totally on me.
Man,
One day.
yeah, that's interesting. That I feel like that's it's interesting and it's also kind of scary. Like something concept that complex. Because I'm thinking right now, I'm thinking like, hey man, let's just Wes, your writers, hey, you guys make a movie about a dude that's doing something for the kingdom. I don't even know,
I
like
mean,
just
yeah. Well,
the hero guy.
I'm curious to see, because like a lot of people have been talking about like, oh, they just do like Ocarina of Time and whatnot. But I'm curious, like it would make more sense, I think, for them to do something closer to like Breath of the Wild or Tears of
Yeah,
the Kingdom, because those characters are going to be more familiar with the modern audience than something like that. Like, are we going to see like Pura, or well, I feel like we're going to see Sheik. Like, that's probably a no-brainer. But like, I feel like because with the Mario movie, that's basically how they soft launched like new Donkey Kong. So like,
yeah,
how much of that is going to be them showing like new modern Zelda stuff? Like, are we going to see
yeah.
Guardians in the new Zelda movie? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we did, because that's such a modern touchstone of the series that people are familiar with. So,
Dude,
go ahead.
if young Benjamin Answorth,
Young Benjamin.
if he's yapping his mouth off in that trailer, I'm retreating.
No! I'm fine with that. Dude, I'm telling you, it would be more weird if he didn't talk. Like, if he talks, people are gonna complain. If he doesn't talk, people are gonna complain. But it's gonna make for a worse experience if he doesn't talk. I'm
I don't
telling
think
you.
so.
I'm telling you.
It depends on how they like. If they do it as a character quirk, if he's just a quiet guy or like a silent dude, like not super like I said, not completely silent. He's not mute. Like he can talk. Like I think like I said, give him 2 lines per act. I think like he says things throughout the movie, but I feel like
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what
that
like
would be
it's what makes him
fine.
special. You
But
know what I mean?
if there are gonna be people who like, because if he's talking in the movie, he's probably going to say at least something in the trailer, and I just know there are going to be people that are like, well, I'm not watching this because he said like a word. But I'm like, it
I,
doesn't matter. Like, they will make whatever decision they feel like is best to tell whatever story they want to tell. And
yeah.
so I don't think this like there's any like sanctity to him being like quiet and not saying anything,
Yeah,
right?
and that
Like,
goes to what you said
if
about the Mario movie. There's no sanctity to anything. I feel with like,
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff that I definitely don't want to see, but like, as far as like having the character talk when he usually doesn't talk,
yeah,
I'm not gonna die on that hill. Like, if it
I'm
makes for a better movie.
yeah, and I think when I said I'm a retreat, that's basically I'm saying I think that like my predictions of my just how my view in my head right now. I have a view of the movie. If he starts talking, that whole shit is shattered. like I'll it's like a domino effect in my mind where it's like, okay. And my prediction also, if it is the movie where like, if he doesn't talk much, I think he doesn't say anything at all in the teaser, and then in the actual like trailer #1 that comes out eventually, he might say something. You might see him talk to Zelda, or you don't
He's
see
gonna
who he's
be.
talking to at all. You will not see him talk to anybody outside of Zelda, or him saying a line off camera and you can't see who he's talking to. Like it's
He's gonna
very
be
sparing.
super quiet during the whole trailer, and then it's gonna end with a stinger of like a guardian training on him, and then he's just like, "Oh shit!" And then the trailer cuts.
Yo, oh my god.
Legend of Zelda movie coming out
Oh my
2027.
god. Dude. It's
No,
like,
I mean, it's gonna be weird either way, but I feel like it's gonna be worse if he's like, if they stick to him not saying anything at all. That's like the worst possible.
oh yeah.
It's just like not interesting.
Well, man, you gotta, dude, come on now. Wally barely talked. You get attached to Wally. He ain't say nothing.
Wally from Wally's World, the
No.
Five Nights at Freddy's knockoff movie.
No, Wally from Pixar.
Gotcha. Okay. I was thinking of the Nicolas Cage movie Wally. I think it's like Wally World, or I don't know. I don't know. But that's a movie where Nicolas Cage doesn't say a single word
Really?
until the
Oh,
very
that's
end
hilarious.
of the movie.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't expect you to. I wouldn't expect you to. It's a Hulu exclusive.
Man.
Yeah. It was a bit of a deep cut. Anyway.
Shout out to Hulu.
Yeah, I'm sure like this is gonna be like a monthly occurrence now, where we get like new info about casting, and
I hope so.
I'm sure it's gonna be that way. I mean, if you remember like the Mario movie, like people are like, oh, I saw like the Mario standee at McDonald's, and like that image like of the first look of Mario goes around. It's like crazy, and I think it's gonna be the same thing.
I
I
can't
think-
wait to see the costumes.
Yeah. I think this is a more interesting case with it being like a live action adaptation, because it was easy to imagine like what an animated Mario movie might look like.
Yeah.
But with this, it's like, what? Like, it's really hard to picture what this movie's gonna look like.
Like tonally, I want Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Tonally, that's what I want. like a little bit more fantasy, of course, but like that's what I'm looking for. I'm
So you
looking
want
for
like a little bit of a darker.
it's the Kingdom is a
You
lot
want more.
brighter and more like vibrant
Oh,
and
okay.
fun than the Caesar trilogy.
Really?
Yeah, it's significantly different. And
Okay.
that's kind of the vibe I'm looking for, where it's like it's gonna be bright, it's gonna be colorful, but it has a little bit of that grit. You know what I'm saying? Like it has a noticeable grit compared to the games, but it's still very vibrant and very expansive and colorful and stuff like that. Like that's what I'm
Gotcha.
looking for. And I think that's what Wes did with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay. That would be cool. Man, that first teaser, whatever it is gonna be a doozy.
But yeah, that's gonna be hype.
Yeah. Moving on to
Or hate it.
something a lot less exciting. Ubisoft. They announced some restructuring. They have been looking for funding for